What a beautiful song and what beautiful slides. I was like, oh, look at the baby, look at that, look at that. And good morning. Thank you so much for having me be here with you today. I love coming here. And I love the wonderful people here in Augusta. And I love the drive over from Athens, Georgia. It was just easy drive. And I got to speed a little bit. Then they stopped because there's also, that's against the law, but it was nice. It was just nice to drive and it was wonderful. And for those that are watching online, I apologize that I didn't have a copy for you of the affirmation that we read. However, I would bet if you put a little note in the thing there that you're watching, whatever system you're using, you might ask if you could get a copy of it and we could find a way to get that to you. And thank you for being online and thank you for bringing that energy from wherever you're watching from here. We can feel it filling up our hearts and the church. So today we're going to talk about the fact that we are halfway through the year. Almost. Not quite. 2 more days until June 30th. And that starts a new 6 months. Have you paused recently to think about what you may have wanted to have appear in this year? Maybe you did a burning bowl ceremony in January, beginning of January. Maybe you threw something into the burning bowl that you'd want to release in your life. Maybe you used a white stone to have a word or a suggestion to follow to hold you through the year. Maybe you made a list of things that you would like to see happen in this year. Well, you can actually change it at any time, but halfway through the year is a real good time to relook at what you would like to see, to do, to have, to be. Also a great time to give thanks for all the wonderful things that have shown up for you in the last 6 months. And of course, before that too, if you'd like. Almost 78 years ago, I was born on June 30th, so it's always kind of a reminder to me, like, oh, you can say happy birthday on like my birthday. But I'm always very happy to think that I was born really at the middle of the year. And I was born at just a few minutes before midnight, they tell me. I wasn't quite knowledgeable watching time at that point. So it's always a celebration for me to look forward, but it can be for all of us. What would you like to see in the months ahead? Some things may have changed for you. Some things you may have already felt appear, or you want to tweak them a bit. Some other things have been coming up lately, including Thessalonians. Have you been thinking about Thessalonians lately? I don't see anyone saying yes. Okay. It's been with me. Paul's letter to the Thessalonians is in the New Testament. And it showed up for me when I was driving in some Atlanta traffic. And I had just kind of got this little note and I thought about it. I said, well, okay, Thessalonians, First Thessalonians, on your little slip that you should have received when you came in, you'll notice it does not say First Thessalonians, it says Thessalonians, because I did not want to redo the whole grid of printing these and trying to slip a 1 in there when they were already a little bit tricky. And there's only a First and Second Thessalonians, and Second Thessalonians doesn't have a chapter 5, so you know you're going to be in 1. And I was driving in this traffic, and it was really, really bad traffic, because really, really bad traffic is when nothing is moving. And it was a very significant spiritual moment, an hour for me, because traffic did not move. There was a bad accident up ahead. I had planned a different route to go this particular way. And I sat there kind of worried about whatever might have happened and doing. Maybe you do that when you see a car in trouble, you send prayer and light and helpers to it. But I said, okay, well, I'm going to find some joy in this. So I happened to have a cracker box next to me, and I was eating some gluten-free crackers. I'm not necessarily gluten-free, but they were good. And I was trying not to get disturbed at the other cars that were blowing horns and trying to sneak in between an unstopped bunch of cars, which is really hard. And then all of a sudden, my feelings just shifted, and I turned on some jazz music from the WCLK, which is a jazz station in Atlanta from Clark College. And it was amazing. And there was a good saxophone play coming on. And I played saxophone for a very brief time in about 4th grade, for about a month before the teacher said I just wasn't getting it. And I believed him, because I used to believe those things back then. But here I could be in my car playing air saxophone, jamming with WCLK in the middle of a huge traffic jam. And then this little slip of paper that I had already printed out for myself came to my attention on the seat. What does it say? It says, rejoice always. Okay, I could find some things to rejoice in the traffic jam, jamming in the jam. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. Doesn't mean that we've got to think every moment, am I praying, am I praying, am I praying? But I do believe, for me, it reminds me to change my thoughts from judgment or worry or fear into prayer. Give thanks in all circumstances is number 3. Give thanks in all circumstances. Does that mean give thanks for all circumstances? No. In all circumstances. So I didn't have to be thankful to be in this huge traffic block, but I could be thankful that I was okay, my car was okay, that I could hear some sirens coming to help whoever was in trouble, that I'd had a really wonderful day, and that I intended to have another one and another one and another one after that. I was giving thanks for the people and the things that I love in my life. So this is a good reminder. And it had a trailer with it. Not like a trailer that you pull with a car, like a trailer that kept showing up. So just last week, I was at Unity of Hilton Head visiting a friend, and looking in her bookshelf, there was a book, and I always have to write this woman's name down because it's a little unusual. It's called The Handbook of Positive Prayer by Hypatia Hasbrouck. That's Hasbrouck. Wonderful book about prayer. And I was like, okay, I had a few moments, so I kind of opened it up. And chapter 3 is entitled Pray Without Ceasing. And I went, oh, okay, this little piece of paper is spreading. It's moving around quite a bit. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. And just a couple of days ago, I was looking, do you keep card decks different times? And what I do with the ones that I'm not using a lot anymore, I'll take the card deck and pull a card. I had one on different prayers and things. So I pulled a card out of that to put into a birthday card that I was sending to a friend. And the card said 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 16 to 18. And I went, oh my God, maybe, am I not hearing this enough? Am I supposed to be doing some more of this? Or I'm just going to be grateful and say, thank you, God, for having this show up again. Now, that card deck was very biblical, but it also changed and tweaked these verses a little bit. So I wrote it down because I thought you might find it interesting. So instead of rejoice always, and there's different, of course, interpretations of the Bible. You go from the Aramaic, or you can go from Greek or the other languages that often have been translated into. Instead of rejoice always, it said, always be joyful. I feel kind of like a teacher or, somebody giving me some advice. Give thanks in all circumstances. They said, never stop praying. No, yes, never stop praying. It's so different. And then for the third one, oh, I'm sorry, I did skip it. Pray without ceasing became never stop praying. Never stop praying. Kind of the same meaning. And number 3, give thanks in all circumstances. It said this, and I loved it, and I questioned it, and I thought about it all at the same time. Instead of giving thanks in all circumstances, it said, whatever happens, give thanks. I said, okay, I'll think about that. And I thought about that, and I said, no, there's things that happen, and I'm not going to give thanks for them. I'm going to try to see the good in them. I am going to try to find good or give thanks for something else. So guess what? Just by you picking up these little blue thing of paper, you're going to find all kinds of words from Paul and the Thessalonians in the next weeks. Love to hear about that if you do. So halfway through the year, June 21st was the solstice. It's new half-year eve coming up on the end of the 30th. Have you ever thought of doing that? On the evening of June 30th, lighting that candle, doing a half New Year's Eve celebration, rethinking your goals, renewing your dedication to the things you are dedicated to. Spending time, perhaps, in prayer and meditation a little more than usual. Perhaps sending a note or a letter to a friend. Maybe you don't choose to do that, and it's fine. Maybe you have a list of things from January 1st that you continue to follow through the year. Maybe you don't care to do the process at all. And that's okay. But considering that one of the things I think Unity teaches us is constant renewal. We're talking about that a bit in the book study this morning. Different ways of looking at things, different concepts of things we may not have been in agreement with in the past, showing up in new ways for us as we open our eyes to, oh, that speaks to me. I'd like to speak that more, perhaps to others. Oh, there was this thing maybe 5 years ago I wished I would do, or I put on a shelf, or I didn't finish, or I didn't start. Why not now? Why not now? And then there's the strawberry moon. Did you know there's a strawberry moon? Would you raise your hand if you've ever heard of a strawberry moon? Okay. I don't remember ever hearing about it. It doesn't come from the moon's color, although it will appear to have a reddish glow because it's closer to the horizon. This is tomorrow night, about 8 o'clock. And the light rays pass through the densest layers of the atmosphere. Its reference dates back to the indigenous and early North American traditions, tied to that time of year when ripening berries are traditionally ready to be harvested around that time. Early summer. It was a short time to harvest the strawberries. And it doesn't last very long. Well, the moon lasts a very long time. But those moments of a kind of an orangish, reddish moon are pretty much, they sit around 8 or 9 o'clock. If you can find a place with a flat horizon, it might help to see it a little more. Why could that be important to you? The fact that, I'm just kind of feeling this now, the fact that something as far away and changeable seemingly to us as the moon in all its different phases, in all of its different seeming coloration, in all of its energy that we may read about, praying under a full moon, loving under a full moon, just sitting and basking in a full moon. All of those things we can renew with. We can take a look at that and say, oh, even though this and that and it changes in the atmosphere and the coloration of the moon, it's still there and it's beautiful. Even though our lives change and things happen and things might make us sad or very glad or despondent or worried or, oh, that core essence of us stays beautiful and serene. That's that God self we talk about within, the Christ self, the divine within us. We can, at this time of the year, celebrate the blessings we've already had, reflect on our journey so far, envision the possibilities ahead, and practice positive foresight. Now, positive foresight just kind of popped up this week when I was thinking about what to talk about. Positive foresight, okay. Positive foresight. Huh. And then realized that the affirmation we read for July on understanding, when I looked up the several definitions of positive foresight, it said it's truly a sense of understanding how things will be, how things will turn out. It's a deeper understanding of all that may be in the near and the further future for us. It's an understanding, perhaps, of all the things that we are living through, especially now in these days, of finding a deeper understanding of things, of finding ways to try to understand that peace is within us and we spread it out. To try to understand that our prayers are huge. To try, reminder to me, to try to understand to what I think about, I give energy to. What I speak about, I believe I give energy to. And maybe it's not an energy that goes out and changes the world, but it can be an energy that goes within and can change me. If I get very caught up in things I don't like, I don't want, I'd rather not see, it changes something in me, maybe temporarily, maybe just for a few minutes. I think it makes it harder for me to see good. I think it makes it more challenging for me to do good, to do the things I love, because I'm caught up in the things that seem to be out of my control. So consider, in the days ahead, doing a bit of celebrating. We're halfway through the year. You've learned so much, have you not? Raise your hand if you have learned nothing in the last 6 months. Don't look around, nobody's raising their hand. We can look forward with hope. Can you dream a lofty dream? What was it James Allen said? Dream lofty dreams. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a sleeping angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of reality. Dream lofty dreams. You spend some time today or this week dreaming lofty dreams. If someone asks you why you're smiling, you say, hey, I'm dreaming lofty dreams. You? Trust the divine unfolding in your life. Trust it. Look for it. Thank it. Know that no matter what, there's always good coming. The best is yet to come can sound like, okay, the best is yet to come. You can say the best weeks, moments, encounters, times, people, interactions, relationships, careers, all that. The best I have yet to experience is yet to come. Even if they've been absolutely wonderful in the last 6 months or the last 60 years or 78. There's so much good everywhere. What will these next months bring you? What will you find in the corners of your mind, in the depths of your heart, that will reignite or continue to ignite all the wonders of life? Life is a wonder journey. If we allow it to be, we can close to it. We can say, oh, this and that's going on all the time, blah, blah, blah. You know, I hate this, don't like that, don't like this, don't like that. And that's part of expression. But in the depths of your heart, in the corners of your mind, there are so many amazing things that co-create with you and with Spirit to bring you delight and love and peace and well-being and so much joy. And so as I was closing out my day yesterday and getting ready to sleep and prepare to be here today, I got a little nudge to write a little thing to close this talk with. And that's another, okay, apparently I'm not done. That's another thing. Are you paying attention to nudges? Sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's a thought. Sometimes it's a thing that you don't even have on your plate of things to think about. Or it seems to be coming from somewhere outside of what your normal beingness is. Or you think, really? Really? Infinite Spirit, whatever's calling me to do that? Listen to the nudges. So this was a nudge to write for you last night. And to all of you watching online or later, do not forget, you are divinely made. You are divinely made. You have added to the beauty of life, to the world, and to more. Your life has meaning and purpose. We all have this gift from life and for life, even if we don't always recognize it. Your path is sacred. Your path is sacred. Gotta say it again. Your path is sacred. You want to say it? My path is sacred. My path is sacred. My path is sacred. You are beautiful. Say, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. You are loved. Say, I am loved. I am loved. And you are a purveyor of love. Say that. I am a purveyor of love. Someone asks you how you're doing today. Stand up straight, look them in the eyes and say, I am a purveyor of love. Because you are. And that's wonderful. And so it is.